Hi guys, it's V2 Vengeance, and today I'll be talking about the upcoming 9.0 update in World of Tanks. Now, what we've all heard about this update is that first of all, it's bringing a new game engine. So Wargaming are now developing World of Tanks in a new game engine. What the game engine is, it's the base of the game, really. So this is where everything happens right now. So for example, in a game engine, what this garage looks like, it's like a world with nothing in it, and then it's an object, the garage itself, and some objects, a tank, and the interface, this bar right here with tanks, and so on and so on. And in fact, I'll give you a better example. I have a free game engine, anyone can get it, it's free, it's called Unity. So I'll show you that. Now this is what a game engine looks like. So basically, here's the world, and you have to make your own models, and then you can just drag them in this world. So I'm just giving you an example right now. For example, I have here a tiger model. I'm just dragging it in, and now if I press play, I can just take a look at this model. So this is what a game engine is. Actually, this is a tiger model that I've made. I know it's not that cool, but it's something. So this is what a game engine looks like. Now, to change between two game engines, at first they already have all the tank models, so basically they can just take the model itself and change it from Big World engine to the new Havoc engine. Also the scripts, the programming part, I mean, it's also they can just basically copy paste it into their new project. But Havoc game engine has a lot of features over Game World engine. Game World engine is not that new. It went okay for World of Tanks, but now that they want to move on, they need something better, and that is Havok. Now that I've showed you what the game engine really is like, let's go back to the garage. Now that you know what the game engine really is like, well, how does it change the game if there is a new game engine? Well, firstly, if they change the game engine, they might now be able to introduce tanks, planes, and warships all in the same time. This is the advantage of the Havoc, because if they're this is what was the problem, that they couldn't make a single game with tanks and airplanes. It was because the Big World engine used for World of Warplanes is different than the Big World engine used for World of Tanks. But if they change to the same game engine, both in World of Tanks and in World of Warplanes, they will be able to make a single game featuring both tanks and airplanes. Also, what Havok also adds to the game is a lot more realism. For example, I don't know if you played Company of Heroes, but that game uses Havok, the Havok game engine. And what Havok can do, for example, when an artillery fires, so I'm in my GW Tiger, and I take a shot and I miss and I hit the ground, what happens is that there is an actual hole in the ground, a crater from the explosion, that appears exactly when the bullet hits the ground. So realistic stuff. And for example, if an artillery shoots you and misses you, you can use the hole of the crater to go hold down in your T29 or T30. I'm just giving an example. Also, what Havok can do is, for example, when you shoot a house, let's say you are in a tank with a lower caliber gun. You're in your T62A and you're shooting through a house. You're actually going to make a hole in that house, and you will be able to shoot through your own holes. So for example, when you shoot the first time, you will make a hole in the house. Your bullet will lose penetration, but when you're going to shoot the second time, your shell will not lose any penetration. But then if a Yak Panther 100 tries to shoot through a hole, his shell will be too big to go through the hole, so he will have to enlarge. I don't know, this is sounding a little bit, yeah, but you get the point. This is what Havoc game engine can do. Also, there pretty be a little bit of changes in the physics of the game. So there will be new features, like when you're getting ammo racked. I'm just giving an example, the 100. When you'll be getting ammo racked, your turret will blow up and there will be just a hole destroyed, standing there with a big hole here, and the turret would be thrown away. And I think it would be funny that the turret fell on another tank and killed it. I don't know if that would be possible, but it would be pretty cool. So yes, this is what Havok in general is bringing. The game will be very interesting after this 9.0 update, like it was after the 8.0 when the physics came in. But I think this is going to be the biggest change in World of Tanks, because changing the game engine is like changing the game, but in a good way. Okay, so this is the first thing that we know about that is going to be changed in 9.0. The second thing is going to be, but not really 9.0, this will be added in 9 point something. So for example, up until 10.0 there will be added a new type of tank, and they are going to be called assault guns. And for what I've heard, there are two models of assault gun that I've heard talking of, and they are the Stuch, so not the Stug, the Stuch. It will be probably tier 5 or 6, and the very well known Sturmtiger sitting at tier 10 most likely. Now what's going to be special about those tanks is that there will be a sort of combination between a tank destroyer and an artillery. What this means is that you're probably going to have mediocre armor. For example, the Sturmtiger at tier 10 only has 150mm of frontal armor, like a King Tiger, so not very well armored, but not as poorly armored as an artillery. And also, they are going to be shooting only high explosive, and they'll be pretty inaccurate, not as inaccurate as an artillery, but less accurate than a tank destroyer. So you'll be looking at 0.6 or 0.5 accuracy and big aiming times like 6 seconds. So in terms of aiming time and accuracy, you could be comparing an assault gun to a KV2 using the derp gun shooting high explosive. This is what an assault gun is going to be like, but with a fixed gun. But this is not the only thing. Where is the KV2? Here it is. Oh, I can research it. Okay, so this is 152mm, 0.6 dispersion accuracy and 4 seconds aiming time. So this is what you'll be looking at. Also, there will be, like the sniping mode, this for tank destroyers, and the artillery mode, there will be a special mode for the assault guns. So it will be like a sniping mode, but if you zoomed in, the zoom would go over hills, so you would be able to shoot over hills, but in sniping mode. This is what an assault gun is going to be able to do. So I guess they are going to be played something like a tank destroyer, but a very backline tank destroyer. For example, on the Malinovka, you'll still be sitting in the base, but you would be able to shoot tanks that are over the hill. So for example, you could be blind shotting at enemy artillery, I don't know. And the Sturmtiger with its massive 380mm main gun, that thing, I think it's going to have huge damage per shell and also huge splash radius. So if you're going to zoom into not sniping mode, assault gun mode, and you would be looking at the bush where artillery is normally looking and sitting at, and there will be in a position where you would normally not be able to shoot with a normal tank. You could take blind shots, and with that massive splash radius with the Sturmtiger's gun, you would even be able to kill artillery before they even started shooting. Okay, so those are the main features that are going to appear in the 9.0 update. In 9.0 there will be the Havoc game engine, and in 9 point something, a little bit later, there will be the Sturmtiger. And also, Wargaming said that they're already working at the assault guns. So, for example, there is a Sturmtiger model already made, and you can find it if you're playing on Severgorsk. That map, I don't know when it was introduced, 8.8, I'm not sure. And if you're going somewhere in the middle of the map, you can find hangars, and in one of those hangars there is a Sturmtiger sitting. So it's like an Easter egg, showing that Wargaming is really working on those new assault guns. If I could go in a training room right now, I could be showing you exactly, sorry, this is Team Battle, I could be showing you exactly what I'm talking about. So I create a room, Severgorsk, here it is. That position that I'm talking about is here. You see this hangar right where I'm putting the mouse? That is the hangar that we're talking about, and it has like a door, and the door is a little bit cracked, so you can look inside. Okay, should I invite someone? I'll just pause the video here and I'll start recording again when I found someone. Be right back. Okay, so here we are on Severgorsk. I'm right now going to the meeting point with one of my clanmates, Stalker Raidu. Thank you for coming, so I'll be able to make this video. Here he is, and this is what I'm talking about. I don't think there it is. Sturmtiger. Look at that massive main gun. This tank really was a beast. I don't think it was used. I'll let Rad also take a look. So this is what I'm talking about, the 9.0 update. Assault guns and Havok game engine. This is really going to be a huge update. I'm looking forward to seeing it. It's going to be massive. I can't wait. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you found this informative, and for more videos don't forget to subscribe. Have a great day.